in any kind of testimony, whether in deposition or in trial, of course, the opposing attorney, whether it be for the defendant or the plaintiff, their job is to basically question your findings, and to question your authority, and to question your ability to come to the conclusions that you came to. So they will do everything possible. They will ask you, well, what article are you referring to? What book are you referring to? What research are you referring to? Why did you use this scale? Isn't this an offbeat scale? I've even had people read each item to me on the MMPI and say, well, how did this person respond to this item? And so, I mean, that wasn't very effective because I didn't have the MMPI in front of me, and I had to say I didn't know. But they will do anything and everything they can to minimize the effectiveness of your testimony, either in a transcript and deposition or in front of the judge or jury. So you have to be prepared for that. And I think the best course is to be open and honest. And again, if we're objective according to our psychological standards, then we present the opposing view sometimes. We present facts and data that do not support our opinion, but that we've ruled out in favor of our opinion. We articulate why we have done that. And so that opens the door for attorneys to ask you even more questions, but that's all right. That's what we have to do. We have to be objective in our testimony. And most judges and most juries and most administrative law judges that hear this testimony recognize that you're trying to be objective, and you know, they discount it in their own mind, but you still have to go through the questioning by the opposing attorney. Sometimes, again, when you have large corporations like Marriott or like you know, other or Standard Oil or whatever other company that might be large, sometimes they have teams of attorneys, and they will you know, ask you questions with one attorney after the other asking you questions, and so it can become very you know, a very stressful, not stressful thing, strenuous thing, and you have to be prepared for that if you testify in an adversarial process. And believe me, personal injury cases are very adversarial because a lot of times there's a lot of money on the line. And one of my special expertise is in testifying in sexual harassment cases, and I published an article not too long ago on 20 cases where each of these women won over $1 million, and they were from 20 different companies, and so they won over $1 million for damages. So that should indicate why people, you know, they will spend all kinds of energy and effort to, again, undercut what you say and minimize the effectiveness of what you say, and so you have to be prepared for that. And you are prepared if you're objective and have rationale for your opinions based upon all the data that you've collected. So let me just say, kind of in summary, that doing personal injury evaluations is very challenging from an intellectual standpoint. It's also very challenging and rewarding from a social justice standpoint, that you can't always come to the conclusion that the attorneys or that the individuals, the plaintiffs want, but sometimes you feel very good, as you do also in criminal cases, but you feel very good in terms of your contribution to social justice. And so it can be rewarding, and it can be rewarding also in terms of compensation. Good you know, psychologists that practice in personal injury can do very well financially if, again, they are objective, and if they do their homework, and if they are thorough in what they do and are ethical in their behavior, then they can do quite well in personal injury evaluations.